Seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up.
Mommy, I can never get the dosing right for my G Queen.
Oh, honey, everyone misses a dose sometimes. That's why we have the G Queen Care Companion.
It's party time with all the G Queens.
The Care Companion gives your G Queen the illusion of self-control and responsibility. Now he can play with fire with his friends who look just like him.
Well, he says he knows his limits.
Time for the G Queen party.
What is up? I am Lance. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out a video by SLOAN. I saw this on the kind of threw me off guard. I thought we should check it out. Did Lady Gaga murder Lina Morgana? I don't know who that is. For fame? Question mark.
It's question mark.
Who in the hell is Lina Morgana? Morgana. That sounds like she's a witch. So anyway, we haven't checked out SLOAN in a good minute, and I was like, Lady Gaga, I haven't seen her in a while and talk about this kind of stuff. So let's get right into it. I'll leave the link for SLOAN.
My angel, you're all I feel.
She does kind of look like early Gaga a little bit.
I didn't do a thing. She had it coming. No one liked her anyway. Nobody loved her.
You murdered her. Rest in peace, it's Lina Morgana. Go to hell if you did anything, Gaga.
What is this? What's happening?
Morgana was promised a music career in Hollywood. She was working with some of the biggest producers and record labels. Actually, her producer Rob ended up hiring.
Is this? What the f am I kind of hairstyle is that? Only what would you? Either a hairstylist or a music producer. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm glad you're a music producer, because if you're a hairstylist, I would not want to have you do my hair. If I would be walking out looking like this. Girl. Ooh. Ooh. By the way, was that a Lady Gaga song earlier? Let me know. I don't recognize that one.
Lady Gaga to help out. Lady Gaga was hired to songwrite and to dance for Lina Morgana, but in 2007, things changed. Lady Gaga started dating their producer Rob and shifted all of his focus off of Lina. This ruined Lina's music career, and Lady Gaga continued to rise while using Lina's work. Unfortunately, Lina passed away at the age of 19 after mysteriously falling off a building, just like Lady Gaga depicts herself in the paparazzi music video. So let's get into it. Before we get into this video, I would like to state that this is a conspiracy theory. It's not something I necessarily believe.
There we go. And there we go. We talked about this in a previous video on how SLOAN can get around this bullshit and not getting sued his ass off like he should. Like, I'm not surprised, especially after I just did a video talking about, was it Garth Brooks and the associated of him being a murderer and shit like that. And he uses all these things called, what was it? What would they call it? Well, we're here about blind item. He does these little blind items, which I think is a great little way to like, okay, this is just a conspiracy thing. Okay, this is how he gets around this shit. And did you know that he's like close friends with that Spillshesh? And did you know Spillshesh? Yeah, Sesh. She used to be part of TMZ. I didn't know that until just recently. I think that one video I found out like she used to be part of TMZ. I was like, girl, how did you become so popular on your channel? She was from TMZ. I was like, oh, so he hooked up with her. Not like hooked up, like hooking up. He's gay as a $2 bill, but became besties because, you know, they're both, you know, gossipy people. So, you know, he probably got some little, you know, she's like, hey, here's some, you know, hot tips on how to do this and that. You know, she probably got some insider word. I was going to say insider trading, but insider word from TMZ and how to, you know, get around some shit. Because one thing me and a lot of my long-term followers know is like, what's this blind item that he keeps on talking about? And I've said it too in the past.
But I ain't one to gossip, so you ain't heard it from me.
But I've heard this story before, and I'd like to tell it for myself. This video is not intended to drag Lady Gaga, but rather to explain Lina Morgana and their connection. Please do not send any hate to Lady Gaga and enjoy this video.
Good disclaimer.
Lina Morgana's name and story can be found all over the dark corners of the internet. There have been tons of conspiracies formed around her death, which occurred in October 2008, which is convenient because it's the same year that Lady Gaga rose to fame. Lina was born January 1989, and she was a beautiful, bright rising star. She was a singer and songwriter with a voice and an attitude like no other. Even though she passed away at the age of 19, she has a collection of music, and she was extremely talented.
Silent clouds tell me that something's wrong. They're moving towards me and it won't be long. The shadow run while my body's frozen over.
Now let's talk about the connection between Lina and Lady Gaga. When Lina met Lady Gaga, Lina was already on the rise. Lady Gaga was supposed to be one of her backup dancers or take on some lesser role in Lina's music career. You guys are going to hear the name Rob Fusari throughout this video because he was the producer who worked with Lady Gaga and Lina and ultimately brought them together in 2007. This Rob guy was definitely the middleman between these two artists, and they were working together on music. They even actually have music which you guys could listen to today.
Pink champagne, mirror ball spin around again. In this wonderland.
My God. Oh, I hope that's not copyright. That sounds like something Lady Gaga would play, like have on her first album, Fame. That sounds very Lady Gaga. She does have a nice voice though. That Lana, what's her name again? Lina Morgana. It's a fabulous sounding name, Morgana. It's a shame. It's 19 years old. That's a shame. Her life was cut too short. And you telling me she got thrown off of accidentally thrown off of how? Did they need like a new age Natalie Wood instead of a boat? They threw her off the fucking boat. What the fuck, dude? Like, that's not suspicious of folks.
So these two even have a song together, and I've seen a few different reports that they have written 10 to 11 songs together. What? Another article said they wrote 12 songs together, so they've pretty much written a whole album together. But there's something that happened between the year 2007 and 2008, because Rob was really working hard with Lina, and then once Lady Gaga came into the scene, it seemed like they started to shift some focus onto her, which she wasn't initially supposed to be the main star. Something I have to mention to you guys that I find very sketchy is that Lady Gaga and her team claim that they have no idea who Lina is, but they're sorry about her passing, which I think is extremely dismissive. Lady Gaga said that they barely knew each other, yet they have pretty much 12 songs together. I also want to mention that Rob and Lady Gaga had a relationship. There was
I was gonna say something. I was just you can just confirmed it because I was like, he seems really. She probably look. This is one thing about women I'm impressed by. Women, you know how to just use your feminine wiles to get to the next level. I guarantee you that's what Gaga did. She saw he could be interested. You know, these music guys. You know, a pretty girl. You know, don't chase anything with a skirt. So. If he thinks that he has a little bit more longevity with her, because Lady Gaga maybe throw it down on him and say, hey, you know, I can give you some, you know, some good. If, you know, you make me the star, I don't want to be a backup dancer, and I can make some songs, I can write some shit too. You know, she throw down that coochie, and then he probably like, oh shit, what the fuck I'm gonna do now? And then hire someone to, you know, take care of some business. Allegedly. You know, that could happen. That could. The music industry, the Hollywood industry, they'll take out a motherfucker or two. They'll I guarantee you. And if you did that much work, and you act like I don't know this heifer, even though you wrote songs with her, and you like really, it just kind of looks kind of red flag. Like you might are trying to distance yourself for a reason, girl. Just allegedly, though.
Focus from Lina's career to Lady Gaga's career, and Lady Gaga was with Rob. They were dating for some time, and actually years later they had a feud, and Rob brought up these old songs that Lady Gaga did and threatened to leak them. And while bringing this up, he mentioned Lina and the fact that Lady Gaga was copying her. So how does Lady Gaga barely know this woman, yet they have so much history together?
Little monsters, listen up, because Mother Monster's dealing with some drama. Hey guys, welcome back to Clever Music. So here's the deal. Lady Gaga's former producer and former boyfriend Rob Fusari is threatening to release unfinished Gaga tracks from the 2006-2007 days. Yeah, the famed producer had previously slapped Gaga with lawsuits, and in the last few days, he's been taking his angst out in the public realm via Twitter. Fusari says he's going to leak several unreleased songs, and then he started hating on Gaga and her fan base. He even brought up Lina Morgana, an artist who died and who he claims Gaga copied. Problem? Part of Gaga's legal battle with Fusari was that she didn't want these songs to go public, and she reportedly settled with him so that he'd leave her alone.
Well, that's interesting that Rob turned on Lady Gaga because, bringing up Lina is such an old wound. There must be something more there. Lina's own mother has spoken out against Lady Gaga and accused her of copying her daughter. We'll speak a little bit more about Lina's mother later in this video because she has a
Mom claims Lady Gaga copies sexy act of late Staten Island teen collaborator.
lot to say to Gaga. But I think one of the reasons why this conspiracy theory is pushed about Lady Gaga potentially killing Lina Morgana, which we'll get into the death in a moment, but the fact that they do look very similar, and supposedly Lady Gaga has copied her look. Like Rob said, the comparisons range from their hairstyles to their music videos, and it's clear that Lady Gaga was inspired by Lina's art. Lady Gaga was essentially working under Lina's shadow for her music career, helping her write music, dancing in the background. They had the same producer, the same record label. They had a close relationship with Ryan, so it would make sense if she was inspired by Lina's music career because they were on the same team. So let's go through some of the evidence that people online have gathered to prove that Lady Gaga was trying to jack Lina's style. A lot of people like to share this photo of Lina and Lady Gaga in this red hood because it's something that Lina did for her music video, and Lady Gaga later on interpreted it into her own. There's also a scene in the paparazzi video where it looks like she's wearing a corset that's very similar. There are also moments like this where Lady Gaga allegedly took the idea of a bathtub from Lina's Faraway music video and then used it in her music video Just Dance. They also accuse Lady Gaga of using the idea of bubbles from Lina's Faraway video to make her bubble dress that she had on stage, which looks a little eerie. There are also tons of makeup looks that people put side by side and claim that it's clear that Gaga is copying her. They even call out Lady Gaga's sunflower dress from her AA Nothing Else I Can Say music video and claim that they're copying the sunflowers mentioned in Lina's Faraway music video. People have also called out the wigs and the feathers and the extravagant looks because I guess that's something that Lina was initially into. But I definitely don't want to be ignorant here because Lady Gaga has a very special out there look. And it's hard to mimic that or to take that from someone else. I'm not trying to doubt this part of the conspiracy theory, but I just feel like I've seen so many looks from Lady Gaga that it does seem like it's a big part of who she is. As you guys know, some people believe that Lady Gaga took Lina's life, and they also believe that her second release of her The Fame album, The Fame Monster, was actually a depiction of Lina Morgana, which looks very scary to me. Here's a clip of...
Hold on. No, let's go back a second here. So this is that Lina girl. Okay, same kind of style of hair. She has like this bird crow on top of her head. Look at that. And that's... Wow.
Was actually a depiction of Lina Morgana, which looks very scary to me. Here's a clip of NT Lawyer talking about the similarities between Lady Gaga and Lina Morgana's look.
If you go back and you listen to Lina and you listen to her songs and you look at her style, it is eerily similar to early Gaga. The songs are the same in a lot of cases, but definitely the looks, how they wore their makeup, everything. Especially probably that whole first album through up to the second album. So, you're talking 2008, 2009, 2010 kind of thing. They all feel like Lina.
People also believe that some of the music that Lina put out is similar to some of Lady Gaga's initial work, which again would make sense to me because they were working on the same team.
Perspective anymore, I never really had. And you're very
Personally, I feel like Lina had a little bit more of the earlier 2000s sound, which I just love. There are some songs I've been addicted to since making this video, but I want to go ahead.
She almost gives me in that song, her voice very sounds similar to Gwen Stefani. Did you know it? Did you hear that too? It sounds very Gwen Stefani, her voice. I like that. Anyway, I like Gwen Stefani, but anyway.
I had to talk a little bit about her death before we get into some of the deeper conspiracies and that paparazzi video, which is pretty much like dedicated to Lina's death, which I'm still freaked out over. I want to talk about how Lina died. So it actually seemed like she was doing okay in her career at this time. She was supposed to sign with a major record label and have an MTV documentary series made about her, but none of it ended up happening. No. There's actually not a lot about this on the internet. I found one article, and I believe it's in maybe Norwegian or Swedish, but I Google translated it, and they mentioned that she was supposed to work with MTV, but it never came about. As I mentioned earlier, there seems to be a shift in Lina's career in 2007, 2008, and they started putting more effort into Gaga's career. And this must have really affected Lina and her well-being. She didn't really have a lot going for her, and this big MTV situation fell through, so she was a little bit lost. But she had actually been on a television show in Staten Island called Who Do You Like TV? And she met a band called Sister Venus there, who was looking for a lead singer. She ended up getting the role because she is an amazing singer, and then she worked with them for a couple of months before her death. It does seem like Lina had a good time performing with Sister Venus, but at the same time, it seemed like she was struggling. I found a video clip from 2008 where you can see Lina sitting at the table with her bandmates, and she seems really uncomfortable, by the camera. She doesn't want to be on camera, and she just does not look happy or like she's in a safe space.
Charlie!
Oh yeah, she doesn't want to.
Thank you!
So you guys can tell that she is visibly uncomfortable there. I mean, I was uncomfortable watching that clip myself. But now let's talk about the actual physical death of Lina Morgana, because it's pretty brutal and mysterious, which adds to the conspiracy that Lady Gaga somehow took her life and took her career and just pretty much took her soul. So this article came out on October 4th, 2008, and it's very, very bare. Woman jumps from Staten Island hotel. A woman believed to be in her 20s, which she was 19, so pretty close. She jumped off the roof of this hotel early in the morning. The woman was apparently alive when she was taken to the hospital and is in bad condition. Her identity had not been revealed at this point. So she was at this hotel and then fell off the building. Seems a little suspicious. Yeah, witnesses say that the woman appeared to be dancing or exercising on the roof when she suddenly jumped off the front. The building has 10 floors, and there was actually one report that suggested that someone may have pushed her off of the building. And supposedly there are a lot of witnesses here, which is very interesting. I guess around lunchtime, she supposedly hurled herself off of this building, which just doesn't sound normal to me.
It all happened in front of these friends. And there's one account that says that she was just dancing and having fun, and then she just hurled herself off the 10th-story roof and died. But there's another school of thought. Because 2 weeks later, Stephanie, the person who was begging just to be a backup dancer, starts their own rise as Lady Gaga.
So as Lady Gaga gained fame, people started looking into her past, and they looked into Lina and they started asking questions like, was Lady Gaga involved with this? Because it seems like she took this career from her, was very close with her, even though she claims she barely knew her, and then she is gone and Lady Gaga never says anything. There's no talk of her, and she just continues growing rapidly. Some people think that Lady Gaga could have physically murdered her, and I just think that's pretty ridiculous, because I mean, do you really think Lady Gaga is gonna be over here at at a hotel with a bunch of witnesses and just like push someone. It just seems like who actually does that? Lady Gaga was actually in LA getting ready to travel to Ibiza, where she filmed her Poker Face video. She then went to like an opening act for the New Kids on the Block. She wasn't even in the city when Lina passed away, so there's no way that Lady Gaga actually physically did it. And at first, it was determined to be a wrongful death. I mean, people believed that she took her own life, and this is just what happened. It was an accident. In September 2015, there was some type of legal ruling in the Supreme Court over a case involving a woman named Allison, and initially Lina's case was listed as a wrongful death, but because of this court ruling, it was eventually found that the hotel was guilty for Lina's passing, because I guess they didn't have the safety measures to protect someone from falling 10 stories. I can't really find anything about this ruling or the hotel being found guilty for Lina's case, but at least 1 or 2 articles reported on that ruling and how it affected the manner of death. I think one of the reasons why this conspiracy keeps on thriving is because Lady Gaga never publicly said anything about Lina's death. I mean, besides the one TMZ source that said that they barely knew each other, it seems like she's had no sympathy for this. But in my mind, I feel like she has acknowledged this situation through her music. I mean, not necessarily by copying Lina, but by her paparazzi music video, which really felt like it was about her. The way that Lina died is very similar to how Lady Gaga tries to take her own life in the paparazzi music video, which came out a year after Lina passed away. If you guys were to go onto YouTube and type in Lady Gaga Lina Morgana, the first video is the paparazzi video, so it seems like the internet even knows that this video is all about Lina. Lady Gaga's video Paparazzi.
I always wondered what was the basis of this theme. I get the story of her falling and Alex. I appreciate Alex's answer, but I thought it was a very strange video. I always kind of thought it was like, who came up with this idea of, like, you could come up with a lot of songs about paparazzi and stuff like that. Why this idea of like being pushed off and stuff like that? I thought it was kind of strange. Maybe some of you might have like, oh, this is a reason why she chose this. But now hearing this makes a little bit more sense. And oh my God, I just know it's something. Her hairstyle looks like that music producer. Remember, he had that stupid black streak, and oh my God, this is pretty much it. Ugh, God. Very suspicious. That's what I'm gonna say.
I'm Danny Disappear. This is my 3rd time in witness protection, and I'm meeting new people in a new city.
Obvious reference to Lina Morgana, indicating not only foul play, but foul play enacted by Lady Gaga herself. In the initial scene, we see Lady Gaga being thrown off of a balcony, which is similar to how Lina Morgana passed away, but keep in mind, Lina Morgana supposedly willingly jumped, so it's odd that Lady Gaga is depicting this as someone being thrown off by someone else. Then we see the title of this newspaper, which reads Lady No More Gaga. Some people believe that they're trying to say Lady No Morgana, which means Morgana wasn't going to be Lady Gaga anymore. The music video itself looks like it's some type of ritual over Lady Gaga, with all of these workers shaking their hands and doing these dances, which is very typical like music video dancing. But throughout this video, it seems like Lady Gaga continues to try to take her life, whether she's trying to choke herself, which ultimately doesn't really work because like your body itself is like, wait, give me air, like stop choking me. But then there are more graphic scenes, like this one of the employees who fell down, and it looks like, I don't know what that's supposed to be. It looks like gold blood or something. And of course, there are scenes like this, which I actually find personally triggering, so we're gonna move on. The video itself is disturbing, especially because I do love that song. I mean, it's very iconic, but it does seem like it's alluding to Lina Morgana, and there's even moments where she's wearing like that white corset that we talked about earlier, where it looks like she's dressing like Lina. And some people believe that there's something like more sinister going on here, that maybe Lady Gaga like somehow like absorbed Lina Morgana's soul. Again, this is a conspiracy theory, guys, so we're just telling the story, but let's talk about
there's
that.
been talk about recently about them doing rituals and shit. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me they try to do some rituals to get someone's energy, life force and stuff like that. It wouldn't surprise me, because I've been hearing more and more about the industry and their little satanic rituals and shit like that. It wouldn't be surprising. It wouldn't surprise me. Let's just say that.
Idea that maybe Lady Gaga took this person's life so she could like absorb her talent and her career, and she's just expressing herself. So Lina's mother went to the press and claimed that Lady Gaga and Lina were both very close, and they worked together back in 2007. In a since deleted interview, Lina Morgana's mother said that Lady Gaga is holding Lina's soul, and I want her soul to be free. It was after Lady Gaga's re-release of the Fame Monster when Lina Morgana's mother, Yana Morgana, started speaking out. Yana Morgana claims that Lady Gaga stole her daughter's credit and created one of the first conspiracy theories around this situation, that pretty much these two past albums that Lady Gaga's had were really just Lina Morgana's work. So Yana did not back down, and she took herself to TMZ, which I'm like, oh my gosh, some things never change. But she went to TMZ back in 2010, September 2010, actually on 9/11, which is just like, okay, this is just getting creepier and creepier. But they report that the mother of Lady Gaga's deceased friend is taking the singer to task because she feels like Gaga stole her daughter's style, and she's put together a video to try to prove her case. TMZ had obtained the video made by Lina Morgana's mother, made to show the similarities between the two singers, and the video itself was set to a song that Lina recorded before she passed away.
My angel, we're always near. My angel,
this one in particular is very makes me question a lot of stuff there.
the silent clouds tell me that something's wrong. They're moving towards me and it won't be long. I try to run.
She wore, oh, she like mess too, huh?
He's frozen over, but I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid.
Yana told TMZ that she wants the recognition that she feels like her daughter deserves. She's also trying to secure the rights to several songs Lady Gaga and Lina did together before her death. Could you guys imagine if some of Lady Gaga's hits were actually Lina Morgana's songs? Which I doubt that's happened because like she probably knows better at this point, but could you imagine if she used her work to kickstart her career? Yana Morgana also had some choice words for Lady Gaga because she claimed that Lady Gaga had everything she ever wanted in her life. She had money, she came from wealth, which I've known this, and Lina Morgana had a really tough past. So when Lady Gaga speaks about having such a dark past, like Yana almost believes that like you're just stealing my daughter's storyline. I mean, we can't say what Lady Gaga has been through and what she hasn't been through, but Yana says that Gaga talks about having a dark and tragic life, but she had everything she wanted in the world. She went to the same high school as Nikki Hilton. Her parents were rich, but Lina did have a tough life.
Whoa, I didn't know all that. What? I thought she was just some up-and-coming girl that, you know, she's from a wealthy family. She went to the same school as Nikki Hilton. I didn't even know that. That's something news to me. Jesus Christ.
Gaga had said she had a tough upbringing and things in this nature. Again, this is just hypothetical, but yet Lady Gaga went to high school with Nikki Hilton. Of the Hilton family brand.
Now, do you think that possibly, like, Gaga was basically a backup to Lina?
I think at that point, yeah.
So with Lina's passing and stuff, they already have this cookie cutter cutout of what they're wanting to push as a pop star.
True.
And she was easily able to slip into it. So
I don't really like when people speak for other people's lives because even some people who may be privileged could have gone through stuff. So who really knows what Lady Gaga went through? But if she like absorbed part of Lina's soul, then I guess like would she also have that trauma? I just like those things I can't wrap my mind around because I'm just like down to the facts. But that's like some of the beliefs that people have about this. They also believe in Lady Gaga's Alejandro and Judas.
Shut up for a second. Goddamn pause doesn't want to pause. You cannot be saying that shit when you do a gossip channel there, Sloan. I don't like when people talk about other people. You're on a gossip channel, sir. How can you say that when you talk about people on your gossip channel?
Music videos that she makes reference to satanic rituals and some satanic cults and churches of Satan. In the Alejandro music video, she refers to a sacrifice to the devil, the one eye symbol, which is a reference to Judas, and references the devil symbol. Honestly, when it comes to these things, I get a little bit iffy because I used to be like obsessed with the Illuminati, and then at some point, like, you have to like step back and be like, okay, like, what's really going on here? Obviously, there are some things in music and art that are just like truly evil, and there are a ton of people out there making content like explaining these messages, but I don't know if they're necessarily connected to Lina. I guess people just kind of group these in because they're like, oh, well, you know, she can, you know, be a part of the Illuminati or worship Satan, then she could have obviously done this.
There it is again. Still in love with Judas, baby. That was a demon. And right here, she couldn't have made it any more clear. And she is wearing the same garments that they use at satanic rituals and the Bohemian Grove. If you want me to go more into that, let me know.
And going along with the satanic situation, some people believe that these celebrities sell their souls. Other conspiracy theories say that celebrities sell their souls to the devil in order to achieve fame. Do you guys think that's a real thing? Comment below. Do you like personally just your own thing? Do you think it's a real thing to like sell your soul? Yeah, so I guess part of like selling your soul is losing your soul and part of who you are. But some people believe that Lady Gaga somehow has taken Lina Morgana's soul, which is something that like Yana Morgana, her mother, also believes. Lady Gaga is said to have an alter ego that takes over when she performs, and some celebrities like this are controlled by spirits. Maybe Lina Morgana's spirit is with her when she performs. This is a big claim. It seems a little bit far-fetched in my opinion, but here's a TikToker explaining this concept.
Selling your soul, part 5. But what if medication isn't enough? Lady Gaga, Nicki Minaj, and Beyonce and many others all claim they have an alter ego that takes over whenever they perform. Perhaps these aren't spirits and they're actually symptoms of MK Ultra programming. Perhaps these two things are one and the same. Now, I already have a series on MK Ultra if you want to watch it, but pretty much they just did terrible, terrible things to try and gain mind control, and this is completely real. It actually happened. And some say black magic and witchcraft were also methods they explored. Perhaps when a person's psyche is shattered, they could be more easily controlled by spirits. There are actually many instances where celebrities seem to glitch out, where their programming seems to fail, or their alter ego takes over. These same celebrities heavily promote MK Ultra symbolism. MK Ultra symbolism includes covering one eye, flashing a butterfly, or doing the pyramid hand sign thing.
At the end of the day, I mean, there's no way to prove this situation, but it's interesting if the family believes that, like, you know, Lina didn't want to take her life and that her soul is being trapped somewhere. There's a website called linamorgana.com, and Lina's aunt wrote a message on there. I can tell you one thing right now. We, Lina's family, do not believe that she had an intention to die. We, as a family, do not believe that Lina took her own life, which would suggest that Lina would have been harmed by someone and they would have taken her life. But I encourage you guys to go and check out linamorgana.com because there is a beautiful testimony about her, tons of information. All of her music can be found there, and I've honestly fallen in love with her work. At the end of the day, Lina Morgana deserves to be remembered and to rest in peace. I don't really know what could be done as far as like Lady Gaga doing that. I mean, I think acknowledging her would be something important to do, but at this point, it's been like over 10 years. Do you think Lady Gaga would ever say anything or even really feels anything? I mean, we don't really know how close they were, but I know making music is very intimate, and the fact that they've made so much music together, I can't imagine them not having some type of friendship or something, but maybe it was less of a friendship and more of a feud, because ultimately Lady Gaga kind of took over that career that Lina was promised by her music record label and her producer, and the producer was dating Lady Gaga, and it seems just kind of like, I don't know, seems a little bit messy to me. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Again, this is a conspiracy video. I feel like there's something sus here, and I do feel like there's a little...
No, it's sus. It's sus. Are we paused? Are we paused? No, it's sus. No, it's very interesting. Interesting information. Now, this is, like I said, it's all legend. Yeah. But I don't know. That there's a lot of similarities. I never heard of this girl. And she's 19 years old, but she gonna throw herself on a thing. I don't know about that. You know, they said to try to say the same thing about Natalie Wood too. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But there's a lot of similarities. And I can't see Gaga saying anything. She wants to distance herself. Especially when she's going to say something, what was it? They say it was TMZ who said, oh, I don't really know her that well. What does she look like? Can you show me a picture? You know, it's like that kind of cadence is like, yeah, you don't want to be associated with that for some reason, allegedly. So, let me know what you thought about this. I thought it was kind of interesting. I'd never even heard this girl before, but I kind of want to check out some of her music now. After hearing some of that. Now, granted, when you might see this, I want to see how copyrighted this music is. Some of this might be kind of edited down because of copyright reasons. We'll find out. I'll find out soon enough as soon as I try to post it. But if you don't hear some of the music, I might take out some of the music. You'll understand why if it's copyright. I'll probably let you know in the editing. So let me know in the comments. And yeah, what's your thought about this? Do you think it's like just another conspiracy, or is there some validity in this? What do you think about that? So I'm kind of curious. So yeah, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace and grace. And